Welcome to Bears in Exile. It is April 18th, and we're going to take a quick look at TNA and see what happened to it during today's NDE, or news-driven event of the S&P downgrading the United States debt. Here we have the weekly, and the weekly looks pretty darn good. It looked a lot better yesterday on the short term, but overall this is a very, very minor blip, and the underlying trend is extremely strong. So if all this fell apart tomorrow or the day after that and the world was ending, this would go down to about 72 and run into problems, unless the world really was ending, and then it could go, down to 0, I guess. But really, this is a lot to overcome just to get here, and if it were to get here, no, it would have lots of problems. So, weekly looks fantastic. Now on the daily, we still have a strong trend in effect, providing support for the price. We do have a flip of the shorter term moving averages, and they are testing the long term moving averages. Now it could come down in here and fool around, but this is going to have to compress and flip over for this to really be solid going down. It looks more likely to me that it will flatline here and sit, or it's going to bounce off. Now in the 60-minute, this was recovering yesterday and the day before. It had actually gotten through the long-term negative trend, and had completely cleared it. And then the NDE hit today and jacked it all up. So the negative bias has reasserted itself, but we also have a bubble here, which is attempting to correct itself. Now, if this correction could take it up back into the long-term average to test it, we could have convergence here, and it'll break right through it. We're going to need more information, but we know that there is, these have already got almost uniform again. So this bubble could be technically fixed itself already. And we did see this intraday and called it out on the forums. Actually, I mentioned it as I'm adding more. So in the future I'll try to be more clear as to what I'm seeing. And on the 30-minute, same thing, only faster. It's coming up to test the long term. The secondary indicators are massively oversold, except for the MACD. These don't mean too much to me because they're nice. This RSI below, right at 30, is nice, but these things can stay down here forever. They go down here, they go to sleep. They go up to the top, they go to sleep. So 15-minute, it is already testing long-term trend and has gotten halfway through it. These are high, but that doesn't really matter. The MACD still has a positive bias to it. The most important thing is we have a crossover of the short-term moving averages, and they are crossing over. If they do a complete crossover prior to hitting these bars, we have a substantial chance of this at a minimum hitting 82, but a very good chance of it breaking through it, which should also cause a bubble and a retest, backtest of this long term. And the 5-minute, which is just so darn fast, is it's already broken all the way through. It's already tested it and bounced, and it's headed higher. Very positive sign, but this is also just the 5-minute. So take that for what it's worth. These still have room to move. So positive bias, neutral, with a lot of potential for either direction. If the 5-minute is to be believed, this should go higher and get at least to the top right here. So I would give that almost a positive bias too, even though we have separation of the long term. 30-minute, we have to have a test, and if we do have a flip over of the short-term moving averages prior to them hitting that bar, very, very good sign of at least putting the heart on that bar, and very possibly breaking through it straight through. So target of that would be 83, and if that were to happen on the 30-minute, that brings us right about here, which is a test, at which time it would have to figure out whether it wants to bounce off of it or contest it. Either way, it would do damage to it, but also keep in mind that it looks like the bubble has healed itself, and this could turn down. It can always turn down, it can always turn up. So the news cycle tomorrow will determine a lot of it, how the press is going to hammer or leave alone the debt problem. And the weekly still looks fantastic. I mean, definitely the bulls have the benefit of the doubt on this. I mean, this long-term trend is very, very strong. You have this couple bars hanging out inside of it, but we have yet to see whether or not this is going to be a flat line resting on it, or a bounce off, or even a deeper test of it to see if it can move the long-term moving averages into compression and a flat line, and then a flip over. So that's a lot for it to do. So definitely the bulls have the advantage. And that's it for the quick view of TNA. Thank you for watching. All investing decisions, of course, are your own. This video is for entertainment, educational, and time consumption purposes only. Please join us at bearsandexile.com. We have a fantastic forum, as well as market videos, instructional videos, and a host of other features. Thank you very much.